Well, good morning. It is Sunday, the next morning. Day 2 here in Melbourne, and we are going to go and have a look around the city. First thing we're going to do is go to Captain Cook's cottage. It's one of the major tourist attractions here. This cottage was actually disassembled in England and rebuilt here brick by brick. So we go and have a look at that now. If you're ever in Melbourne and you're looking for Captain Cook's cottage, Fitzroy Gardens is your destination, which is where we are now. And somewhere here should be the cottage. So what else do people do here in Melbourne on a Sunday morning? There you go, yoga in the park. So it only took about, 15 minutes walk from the city centre, and this is Captain Cook's cottage. Each one of these bricks was numbered and then put into a barrel and shipped over to Australia and then reconstructed here on site. It was originally built in 1755 in Yorkshire, England by the parents of Captain James Cook, and then it was brought over brick by brick to Australia in 1934. So to help with the conservation of this building, there is a small charge of, I believe it's $6.50 or something like that, if you actually want to go inside. So yes, it is possible to go inside. The tickets you can buy, there's a, I don't know if you can see that here, where is it, where are we, there, in the back there is a tourist information centre. That's where you buy your tickets, and then you can go into Captain James Cook's cottage. So like I said before, this cottage is in Fitzroy Gardens, which is about a 15-minute walk from the city. There are also free trams you can catch, so it's easy to find. There are lots of maps. In fact, I found this easily on Google Maps. So yeah, it's worth coming here and study some of Australia's history. Okay, so since we're here next to Fitzroy Gardens, you will find the old Treasury building. I really should charge money for this, shouldn't I? So much history in one video. Anyway, it's all very close by and easy to get to. And then if you continue on further that way, you get to Parliament House. This is now Collins Street in Melbourne. This is also where my hotel is, the Grand Hyatt, and we're just walking past the Sofitel. And this is really the elite street, if you want, when it comes to shopping. You know, you have right next to me is Giorgio Armani, and further on you got Dolce & Gabbana and Ralph Lauren and Versace and all these fancy shops. Alright, so this behind me, this is Collins Street, and in front of me is now Swanston Street, which is the other main road straight through Melbourne city centre. Let's go and have a look what we can find here. Of course, one thing you find here in Melbourne are the trams, and they are everywhere. If you have a look at the PTV Transport website, which is the Melbourne Public Transport website, you get a map which shows sort of the free area around the city centre, and gives you a bit more information on how far you can go on free trams. I think you can find as many trams here in Melbourne as you can find bicycles in some of the Asian cities. Here on Swanston Street, some of the attractions you will find, for example, is this one here, which is the Melbourne Town Hall. As we walk up Swanston Street, behind me is Federation Square, and we're walking this way behind you. We come to Bourke Street. Bourke Street is a shopping mall, and we're going to go and have a look at it now. So one thing I love about Melbourne and the city centre is they have all these little arcades. This is the Block Arcade. And if you have a look around, some fantastic little boutique shops. There are little cafes here, jewellers, flower shops. And have a look at the floor that we're walking on. Imagine the work that's gone into that. So here on the corner of Swanston Street and Collins Street is my favourite house actually. If you have a look at the house behind me, wouldn't it be great if you had a balcony apartment up there right in the middle of Melbourne, overlooking sort of the CBD. This is still my dream apartment if I was to live in Melbourne. Alright guys, no visit to Melbourne is complete unless you've been to the Yarra River, which is right behind me. So you've got the bridge here, you've got Flinders Street Station over here, and behind me is Swanston Street where we've just been. So I'm going to head that way now behind you, and we'll take some shots on the Yarra River. Alright guys, this is where we say goodbye from Melbourne. I'm here at Flinders Street Station, which is one of the 3 or 4 main rail terminals. I'm off to the airport now. I'm going to fly back home to Adelaide, and yeah, I think I'll call this another successful vlog. One thing I'd like to ask you to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also once you've watched my video, hit that like button so that I know that I've done a good job or a bad job, whatever it may be. But it's very important, very much appreciated if you hit the like button as well as subscribe to my channel. As always guys, I'll see you next time somewhere around the globe on Bunzy's World.